Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support, man. We in these 33 years of prison stories, and we rolling, man. We on the road to 100K, man. 100K. Right now, we stuck in the 50s. I'm looking for the end of this month. By the end of this month, man, TBP, let's have 60K. Let's have 60K. We right on the door. We 57 and some change. Let's get that 60K, and then we're going to shoot to 100K before the end of this year. That's our goal. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell somebody about this movement we got going on over here. We trying to get to this 100K, man. We want this message to be out to everybody. We want everybody to share this love. We want everybody to get this positive energy that we pushing out. And the only way we can do it is to share these videos, to like these videos, make comments on these videos, and let people know what we got going on over here. So TVP, I'm asking y'all, help spread the word. Let's get these numbers up. Check your own status and make sure you subscribe. A lot of people be watching, they not subscribed. And I appreciate the love, but just hit that button for me. Don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you nothing to hit a like. And, you know, leave a comment. It only takes a little few minutes out of your time. Talk to me. Y'all know I talk back, man. I appreciate the love either way you look at it. This story right here, man, I spoke about this before on my platform, but I don't think this was the topic of the subject. It was just a piece in there that I spoke about in whatever topic I was talking about. So many videos by now I can't remember, but I wanted to run this down to y'all because I was just speaking to somebody about this recently. So I wanted to give y'all a little bit of insight on this part of the story. When I ended up in segregation with the Bethlehem. Now, to understand that, you got to understand that when you go to segregation, they pack up all your property, right? And then when you get over to segregation, we're on Greensville at the time, because that's where I was on Greensville. What happens is, when you get locked up, they pack up all your property. They take you over there to Seg, you over there in Seg. They put you in your cell, whatever. When they get your property all packed up out of your cell and stuff, they bring your property over to the Seg union. And they come get you out your cell. They cuff you up. They take you over to this big room where they usually have visitation there. When you're in Seg, you got visitation through a glass. So you know, talking to somebody through a glass on the phone like y'all might have seen on TV if you ain't never been in prison. Hope you ain't never been in prison. But they take you over there and they bring all of your property in there and they start inventorying your property in front of you, and you cuffed up and everything like that, shackled up. So they inventory your property in front of you, and they're putting aside what you can have in segregation, which is very minimal. They putting to the side what you can have in seg, and then they putting your rest in your property. So you get to see your property so you can know if you got anything missing, you know, whether you had old rat salad that tried to take some of your stuff, whatever the case may be. So I had ended up, if I ain't mistaken, I think this was one of the times I ended up had to put these mitts on somebody for something. Dudes always, always in the way, man, and mess your little bit up because they want to pop off at the mouth or do something until they get popped in the mouth, and then, the gig is up. But anyway, I'm in Seg, I'm over there, so they bring me over there to inventory my property. So when they inventory my property, man, my cellie had packed all my stuff up. Now, at the time, I had a lot of photo albums. I always had a lot of photo albums. I get a lot of pictures, and I love pictures, especially when you locked up. Pictures is a big part of your bit. It was a big part of mine. It kept me connected to the streets, kept me longing for the streets and wanting to get out there and be in some of these pictures and enjoy some of this life out here. So I had a whole lot of photo albums at the time, man. I can't even remember how many, probably well over 10 to 15 of them. And then I got stacks and stacks and stacks of pictures. So in one of my photo albums at the time, and the only reason I can say this because I know they hip to this now. They done been got hip to it. Is, you know, it ain't no hiding place no more. In the penitentiary, once they find something hidden somewhere and they know it's hidden there, then that gig is up. You got to find another spot because they're gonna put memos out and they're gonna check all these areas. So at this time though, they was unaware of the photo albums. We had different photo albums. We had the regular ones, the big square ones like y'all always see, and then we had these I guess you would call rectangular ones, and they were long and they had a lot of, you know, slots in them and pages that you could put pictures in. But these ones were so long, probably about 10, 12 inches long and about this wide, that what dude had showed me how to do was you take and put a slit at the top of the binder and you slide, you know, whatever you trying to hide down in there and you seal it back up. I had the Bethlehem in there. I had a nice little joint, man, probably about 9, 10 inches long, nice piece of hard steel, and it was already sharpened, had the point on it, you know, ready to do major damage. Hopefully it don't have to, but it's ready, you know. And I slide it down in there so I can keep it myself. I always had it with me because you always had your photos and your photo albums on your person and your property in your cell. I felt like it was a good spot at the time. It was a good hiding spot. You know, you take the chance on getting caught with it, but, you know, they weren't really that sharp at this time, like, you know, checking stuff and looking for stuff. And if you basically pick it up and move it or whatever, open it up and look, you know, they mostly looking for the pictures. They wasn't looking and checking the binder. So it just fit perfectly. It was good. You know, the dude told me, man, this is a good spot. I hit it right there. I sealed it up. You know, hopefully you don't have to open it and get it out. If you open it and get it out, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to probably have to use it. So it's going to be gone anyway. So this was my spot. This was my good Bama, right? So I had it in there for a minute. You know, then whatever the altercation came along and I ended up having to go to segregation, my cellie not really knowing because, like I say, you got to trust your cellie, and I don't trust nobody with the Bethlehem, you know. Might get the beefing in the cell. He might pull the joint out or know where it's at to go get it when I'm leave out the cell. We had some words. He might go in there and get it, take it out. I come back in the cell. I might, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, I ain't going to tell them where I got that at. You know, if they ever find it, I'm going to carry my own weight. I'm going to say it's mine. Obviously, it's in my photo album with my pictures or whatever. So, by him not knowing, when they come to pack up all my stuff, he pack up all my stuff and he send it back there. Now, the risk of that is if they find it when I'm going back there just for a fighting charge and I get that, then I got a 100 serious charge, you know, possession of a weapon, which is a way more serious charge. So I'm back there, man. He going through all my property, I'm sitting there shackled up and everything. I'm nervous, you know, I'm like, man, this dude find his knife. So it's just one CO and he's going through each one of my stuff. No, it's two. One of them is inventory, the other one is pulling it out, giving it to him, and they, you know, making notations or whatever, putting it on my inventory sheet. So when they get to the photos, man, I'm in here nervous as I don't know what, man. I start trying to talk to them, trying to keep their attention towards me and not what they really doing. So they looking at the photos and all of this, you know, oh yeah, who is this? You know, trying to be cool, trying to be nice, you know what I'm saying? When they get to the photo album, they got the Bethlehem in it. I'm telling you right now, I could swear this dude knew it was in there, man. The look on his face and what he did gave me the impression that he knew, but he let me get a pass. He won't trip it. He got to it, he opened it up, he was looking at the photos, and then he took and closed it, and he went to bend it, like try to bend it. And he did that, and he was like, and looked at me, and then he was like, and he handed it over to the side, and I was like, whoo, Lord, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, man. So, boom. When they finished inventory and everything, now, the photo album, you can only have like 1 or 2 photo albums in your cell. You can have a magazine, your toothbrush, your soap, you know, basically that was about it. 1 book, something like that. So I take that photo out, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want it to go to property and they run it through metal detector or something and detect it, and then I'm still stuck. So I take the photo album with me. Now, They take me back to my cell. They give me my property. Now I'm actually in segregation with the Bethlehem. You understand? And it's crazy because, you know, when you back there, you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't got nothing but the little bitty items that I told you that you have. So I'm stuck in this cell with the Bethlehem, hoping that they don't have a shakedown inside, because sometimes if the compound go on lock and they got to shake down the entire compound, then they gonna come shake down SAG too. And with just very little property that you have in your cell, 9 times out of 10 they go through everything real thorough back there, because of the simple fact you ain't got that much to go through. When you're on population, you got so much stuff that, you know, they be half buttoning sometimes. They don't go through everything. They'll be just faking it, just trying to get by. So, but if you in SAG, you know, you got all them super cops back there, them Robocops. They gonna try to go through everything, try to read your letters, try to, you know, bend up little envelopes and all this crazy stuff, man. Look all through your cosmetics and, you know, like crazy stuff, man. So I'm back here now with the Bethlehem. I'm like I say, I'm nervous, but I'm feeling like I might be all right. Hopefully I won't be back here too long, because I'm only back there for fighting, you know. Fighting is, you know, you ain't really got to be back there long for fighting. It all depends how much damage is done, or whether they think this dude got some friends or you got some friends, or it's going to be a big beef when it's over. Other than that, you know, you might pull a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and you back out on the yard. So this is what my game plan is. So when I get back there, you know, there's a lot of people who know me at this time. This is about the mid-90s, later part of the 90s, definitely between 95 and 98. Somewhere up in between there, not sure the exact, you know what I'm saying, year, but I know it's within that time frame. So a lot of dudes back there in the hole, and, you know, they know me, you know, like say when you in SAG, you just in one cell, bed, toilet, sink, window, that's it, you know, and any little stuff that you could have, that's it. Door in front of you, you know, cage, got all these holes in them, you know, big steel door closes, then in front of you, you got the wall that separates this side from the other side. So it's like a long tier of cells and a big wall there, and at the end of the tier, you got the showers where they come take us out to take a shower every 3 days. Yeah, every 3 days. And it's only for like 10, 15 minutes. And on the other side is the other cells. But all of the doors now that they done made back there just got holes in them, little small holes all through it. So when you look through it, it's kind of hard to see, hard to focus, because it's so many holes right there in the door. But the whole door is filled with holes. So when they walk by, they can see the entire cell and see what's going on in your cell, and so on and so forth when they make their security checks. So you can holler across the wall to somebody on the other side, and everybody be hollering back and saying, that's all you heard. Dudes talking to each other, hollering back and forth. Some dudes even play chess by calling out the numbers and stuff. I've did that many times, man. You be back there so long, a lot of times, a lot of things be going. We be playing Family Feud back there. We be playing Family Feud back there. Trivial Pursuit. Talk about the sports. I mean, everything be going, because we so bored, you ain't got nothing else. This is it. This is the only thing you got going on till you can get back out there. And like I say, dudes be back there for months and years. I've been back there for years, so I know how it goes. Once you get back there, you got to try to find something to keep your sanity. You got to try to find something to cure your boredom, because if you don't, you will literally go crazy back there. That's just how it is. It's just so much mundane of every day, same thing, nothing changes. And then 3 times a day they coming back there bringing this old garbage food that makes you sick to your stomach just the smell of it, but it's gonna be the only thing you have to eat. So unless you want to starve to death or lose 100 pounds, then that's all you got. You got to try to find something on that tray, like I did. Every time a tray came, I tried to find the most edible thing on the tray, you know, and just try to eat that and nibble on that, and just, you know, you definitely gonna lose weight when you back there and say, especially like me, because I work out too to keep my, you know, frame of mind in order. And working out and eating less, you just gonna lose weight. You know, you gonna get more cut, you're gonna be cut up and everything, but you gonna be hungry as a mug back there, straight up. I know I was starving like Marvin back there. But yeah, so I won't even back there, like I say, for couple of days, man. And I had heard little bits and pieces when I was on the yard. They had some type of mob back there. There was just, savaging dudes back there, beating dudes unmercifully. I'm talking about breaking arms, knocking out teeth. I mean, just crushing dudes back there. The COs, right? Say they had a little mob, and they had this dude on there that had been on the yard. He had supposed to have came from a military background. He was kind of a big dude. He was a big dude. He was a big dude, probably about 270, 280, big old dude, probably about 5'10", 10 and a half, 5'11", and his name was Bam. I am calling his name because he's a sucker. You know what I'm saying? His name was Bam. And he was supposed to be the ringleader, him and a couple of other dudes. Say it's supposed to be like 6 of them, right? And these dudes were supposed to be running in cells, or antagonizing dudes first and foremost, and then running up in cells, beating them up real bad, nightsticks, their hands, whatever, kicking them, stomping them, doing all this, and then leaving out the cell and, not reporting none of this, not writing up no incident reports, not doing none of that. They was doing all of this illegally and getting away with it. They was, they had a little system. Like I said, it's about 5 or 6 of them. So what they was doing was, if they'll come by the cell, they antagonize you, they talking stuff, they seeing if you talk back. They was looking for trouble. They was looking for trouble, period. And they would get a dude up in the booth, when whoever was in the booth, they would send one of their dudes up there to give that person in the booth a break. So when they give them a break, what they would do is they would go in the booth. Now they got control of the doors to open and close the doors. So what they would do then is when they had their guy in the booth, they would come around to the cell, whoever they was beefing with or whoever they was trying to get, and they would creep on down there to the cell and act like they doing a round, and then they would just hit the little button on the radio without going on the radio because everybody else can hear the radio. So they would make a little sound with the radio, hit the button, and the dude would know to pop the door. They would already previously give them the number of the cell. They would, boom, hit the little click, dude would pop the door, boom, they'll bum rush up in there, bang, 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 boom, 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 beat the dude all up, crush him, yeah, you running your mouth, beat him up, go up out the cell, get the door closed, stand at the door, talk trash to him, leave them laying there bleeding, hurt, beat up, whatever, and go on about their business. Now the dude that was in the booth would close the door, lock the door, they won't report this or none of this. Dudes was starting to complain, and it looked like a dude's tail. It looked like they snitching. Even though it's the police, even though what they doing is illegal, it's gonna look like you just snitching, you telling, right? So dudes was taking them brutal whoopings, man, and it was starting to get known because people were saying dudes was back there hurt and having to go to medical, but they going to medical and they wondering like, how you get hurt, how you get beat up if you in cell? Can't nobody be in there but you. It's a one-man cell. But dudes was holding water, trying to be thorough, trying to be tough, and not telling on these cats for what they was doing to them, and they was paying the price for it, which fueled their fire even more to make them think that they was really getting away with with a whole lot of stuff. And they was, for a minute. So when I get back there, I went back there a couple of days, and they got this nurse back there as well. I forget her name, but she was a piece of work, you know what I'm saying? She was a piece of work with her funky self. Yes, I said funky because she was a funky attitude, funky person, period. She was, with her funky self. But she was an older woman that's supposed to have been there for a long time working, in the medical field with the nurses and stuff. I heard she had been in prison because they kept getting rid of her because she caused so many problems. Now, the reason why she probably caused a lot of problems was because she did have a nice body. Can't lie about that. She was, built like a brick house, but she was funky because she had a funky attitude and she had a funky personality. So by her having a nice shape and a big old, hand-pots, dudes locked up. Dudes ain't seeing women like that. Most of the women we see, they in there, they built like truck drivers or something, So when the dudes see a woman with a nice body and you being in the position that you in, which you don't see too many women unless it's on TV or in a magazine, of course you're gonna look. Some dudes gonna even gawk and fiend and say something and catcall and do all of that stuff too. But like I say, just to be fair, she had a nice body. So when she come around, you know, dudes will come up to the door. You back there and say she walking around making a round, or either she passing out medicine or whatever. So dudes know she on the floor. You can smell perfume, all that. When you locked up, man, your senses is incredible. You know when a woman on the floor because you can smell the perfume, even if she weighed in the hall. So dudes will get up and come to their cell. Now, mind you, when we back in SEG, we ain't got no clothes. You in SEG, you ain't got no clothes. The only thing you got is t-shirts and underwear and socks and a pair of little shower shoes. That's it. You ain't got no clothes. They're going to bring you clothes when you got to go somewhere or when you got to go out on the yard. They'll bring you a set of scrubs. But in the meantime, that's all you got. They want you to have on less as possible so they can see everything that's going on with you and make sure you ain't got this, that, or the third or whatever. But that's all you got back there. So dudes is in their boxes. If it's summertime, dudes ain't got on nothing but their boxes. Dudes is running up to the door, waiting for her to walk by to get a good look at her, say something to her, whatever. Now, like I say, she was funky. She had a funky attitude. She thought she was all of that, so she might say something slick. If a dude say something slick, then she'll get so belligerent, man. She talk about people, mama, that's why you locked up, or you ain't this, you ain't that, blah, 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 right? So I can remember she came in, and the rumor was that too, when you did, she was so, what you want to call the word, so, she had such the word I'm looking for, she was so full of herself, such conceit, that when somebody came back there who wasn't impressed with her body or whatever, or just disrespected her because they knew who she was and knew how she was, she would get so mad that the rumor was, whether it's true or not, you never really know, but the rumor was, you know, about her working in the medical field, and when we eat back there, we can only get the foods that they bring to us. Only can get the food that they bring to us. When they put these foods on the cot, they got to give them from cell to cell to cell to cell. So you know where the tray is going because you know you in a cell. So it ain't like you in the chow hall and all these people. There's only like a certain amount of people on the block. So I heard, and the rumor was that she was putting sleeping medicine and pills and stuff in dude's food, breaking up capsules, sprinkling it in dude's food. So when she did come around, whoever was embarrassing her and talking loud and making her look like a clown, you know, that she really was, when she came on the floor, they would be back there sleep knocked out because she done drugged them. You know, yeah, make sure this tray go to sell such and such, right? And like I told you, that's all you got to eat, so the chances are dudes gonna eat the food. And they say, man, dudes was back there being asleep, whoever used to be in there cussing her out or calling her all types of names or whatever. By the time that she came around to do medical sick call and pass out medicine, whoever that was, it was cussing her out last week. Now he in there knocked out every time she come around. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been true. It could not have been true. Who knows? It was a wicked environment and wicked stuff was going on. You know, I tend to believe it, you know, especially after I got to know them and see what was going on back there. I tend to believe it. Now, that's when these dudes came in effect, that all this little clique they got back there with these COs that's running in on dudes. She buttering them up too because she wanted to keep all that hate up off her when she come back there from people who know how foul she is. Dudes be cussing her out, they be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And dudes be laughing when you cuss them out, call them all types of names. And that, you know, I guess that was messing with her ego. So she bring these dudes back here with her when she go to pass out the medicine, because when she come through to pass out the medicine, there's always an officer with her. So it turns out it's always one of these officers that's with the little clique. So they like, boom, when they come back, oh yeah, oh, don't be talking to her like that, or what's your problem? You know, and then dudes say something back. Now he on the hit list. They looking at him next to try to run to his cell, bust him up. You see what I'm saying? Now, Derek S. Shout out to Derek S. Derek S. know who I'm talking about when we talk about Bear. This dude named Bear was back there too. He was a trustee. Now, Bear had a good reputation in prison. He had known to put in some work and do a couple of things. But now he back here working in SEG, and this is where his reputation started taking a hit. Because they say he was down with the little clique that was going on as well. All because of her, because she was acting nice to him. She was treating him nice, giving him, you know, special treatment. And to the best of my knowledge, also the rumor was all the officers that was looking out for her and making sure dudes weren't disrespecting her back there, as well as Belle, she was giving them sexual favors. You know, sexual favors. And back there in SEG, it can be done. Well, it can be done anywhere. if the female is down with it, if they know the infrastructure of the prison, they know how to get away with it. All of that, it can be done. So that's what the rumor was. So people try to get bail at a pass because of the simple fact that he locked up, and they saying that stuff that he was doing was, foul, it won't convict worthy. But they was like trying to give him a pass because he was doing it because he was actually being able to, get with a woman. You know what I'm saying? And, that's probably top on the list when you locked up, getting out, getting with a woman. So, people was trying to give him a pass, but foul is foul. You got to have your own principles. You got to stand by your principles. You got to put 10 toes in the ground on your principles, and you can't break them for nobody. But they say he was back there doing some foul stuff, some real foul stuff, and he was with the little clique. I'm going to get into that little part a little later about something that they said he did, which he definitely did, but this ain't no rumor. But anyway, so when she coming around and she bringing the medicine or whatever, and dudes is, saying whatever to her, they picking dudes out like, man, leave her alone, don't say nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? Go on, lay down somewhere, woo, woo. And if dude gets smart, he on the hit list. They supposed to run in and give him a little body work. So I can remember like a couple of days I'm back there and she coming around. And when she come around, I'm like everybody else. I get up to the bars. I want to see what she look like as well. So she coming by, and when she coming by my cell, this is my first time actually can put my eyes on her. So when she walking by, she walking all slow and trying to be all sensual, shaking her little butt or whatnot, pants tight as spandex, in the penitentiary full of men, perfume booming, lighting up the whole block. So when she walked by my cell, she's walking real slow. She's looking at each cell. And when she go by my cell, she look up at me, and eye to eye, I look at her. And then she walk on by, keep on going nice and slow. So I'm looking at her. And as she walk by, I'm looking at her. So when I finish looking at her, when she get out of my eyesight, I look up. Hey, this Bama here standing at my cell looking at me, right? So I'm looking at him. He looking at me. So he said, what you looking at? Right? Now to me, he's a clown, you know what I'm saying? So I said, what you think I'm looking at? So he said, yeah, you better keep your eyes to yourself and mind your business, or something to that effect. And I look at him, I like, man, I don't know who you think you talking to, man. You better go ahead on about your business, man. Go ahead. Get on there and tell. So he said, oh, okay. All right, yeah, you a tough one, huh? I said, man, you call it what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So he like, okay, all right, I got something for you. I said, yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. I ain't got nothing in here. Give it to me. What you got for me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing. I'm back here saying, you see what I got. I need whatever you got to give it. Give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So he said, yeah, I like you. So he go on about his business. So when they ended up getting out the till and they leave out of the block, that's when dudes start hollering and telling me, say, yo, Bank. I'm like, what's up? Like, man, you better watch yourself, man. They got that little clique back here. They be running in on dudes, man. Beating them up and everything, man. Banking dudes and all that. I said, who? Tell me the COs. I said, man, I ain't tripping. They tell me, I'm telling you, Bank, they be coming, man. You better block your door, man. Because back then we could, dudes find a way to do everything back there. You could take your toothbrush or old toothbrush or something, and you could jam it at the bottom of the door where the door slides open. You can jam it in the bottom of the door so that if they hit the button and try to open the door is not going to open. It's going to appear jammed or locked. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to pull that out, or they're going to have to come and jerk the door and jerk it open in order for that, to come out. Other than that, it was a perfect jump to lock your door, to block your door. So, they can't run down on you or sneak up on you without you being aware. You in there asleep or something. You in SEG. Most people in SEG, they sleep most of the day anyway. So that was a way to block the door so you could have fair warning if they trying to run down on you. So dudes was hollering, man, you better block your door, man. I'm telling you, they foul back here, man. They just beat up such and such about a month ago, broke his arm and everything, and try to lie, act like they don't know what happened, man. And I'm saying to myself, they got cameras back here. They said, man, them dudes be in the booth, man. They be erasing the camera when they do what they do, and they don't fill out no paperwork, and they be getting away with that junk, man. I'm telling you, right? I'm like, yeah, I ain't tripping. But in my mind, I'm inventorying all this stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? So he like, yeah, man, it's a click up, man. It's him. He the ringleader, and he got a couple of more, and they called out the names and stuff. Say, yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, they be on that stuff. They be on it. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. So then another couple of dudes chime in. They said, yeah, that's for real, Bank. That's what they doing back here, man. That's what they doing back here. So I'm like, okay. So boom. I'm inventorying all this stuff in my mind now, and then the first thing comes to my mind is, shh, man, I got that Bethlehem in here. You know what I'm saying? I got that, and never have I been in segregation that got that Bethlehem, because like I say, it's too risky and they may find it and you got a serious charge. So it just so happened that this is going on and I got this Bethlehem. What's the chances of that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not gonna get beat up, and I'm definitely not gonna get beat up to the point where I got some broken bones or missing teeth, and or let some police them come in here and just beat me just because they think they can get away with it. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about it, and I said, boom. So I actually get up and I jam my door. I block my door because, you know, better safe than sorry. So I block my door and I sit there and I contemplated about getting this Bethlehem out, man, because I know if I take it out, it's gonna be hard to seal it back because I ain't back on the yard. I ain't got no glue. I ain't got no nothing. So if I take it out, I'm better safe than sorry. So I said, if I take it out, man, and they come up in, I'm definitely gonna use it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody definitely going to the upper room, period. So I was contemplating, and the more I thought about it, and the more I thought about the rumors I heard on the yard and what dudes hollered, man, I broke that joint up out that, boy. I pulled it up out there, and I looked at that joint, and I looked at it, and I said, boy, if they come up in here, it's going to turn into a casket instead of a sale.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.